Well, she said she's magical, mystical, a powerful wonder girl.
Now, we're all guilty of setting high expectations for the person we want to be on January 1st. And instead of making goals with tight timelines and unsustainable habits, world-renowned fashion designer Izzy Camilleri is suggesting that perhaps we change our mindset to live a life of intention. Welcome back to the show, Izzy.
Thank you.
We had you on the show back in June to talk about your diet book called Izzy's Eating Plan. Now, for a quick refresher, how did you come to develop that?
Well, approaching 50 a few years ago, I just thought it was time to take better care of myself and, thought more about prevention than dealing with issues later on. And so I just started to eat better and develop this plan, and it just turned into a book.
And I love the way you said in our interview, if I can do this, anyone can do this.
But was there an aha moment where you just didn't feel good one day and you said, I gotta.
No, it was more of a lifelong, just lifelong roller coaster, diet after diet. And they would work, and then I would go back to my old eating habits. And so I just thought, I needed to change what I was doing. And I realized that it's actually quite simple. And so that was the aha moment, is that, if I can do it, I felt like other people can do it if I shared what I was doing.
Well, this is very timely because we're now sort of in the midst of a season where it's overindulgence at every event, everywhere. You could go to 3 things a day celebrating the holidays.
Yeah.
And it's usually not raw veggies and dip.
No.
Or water. So, and then we all say, January 1st, that's it. I'm not ever doing this again.
Gyms are full, everything's
the gyms
packed.
are full.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how do you suggest people navigate that?
Well, I think that you just have to be really conscious when you're at a party, when you're at a function, how much you're eating. I think a lot of us eat with our eyes and our brains. We just see it. It looks so delicious, and you just want to keep eating. So I think it's just really being conscious. But at the same time, it's okay to enjoy, and it's okay to go to parties and have a good time and eat what you want to eat. But I think it's about, the next day is just, realizing that you just need to go back to eating better and taking care of yourself. So I think it's just more about being intentional about everything that you put into your body and how much. And
Is that what you mean by eating with intention?
Partly.
Okay.
I in my book, I also list foods that actually work for your body and improve your hair, improve your skin, improve your bones. And so for me now, I'm always aware of what I'm eating and how it can benefit me and keep me healthy and keep me strong. So eating with intention is also about eating in a way that's just going to benefit you on the inside as well as on the outside.
Well, you talk about changing your mindset. And for many people, that boils down to, I guess, willpower, or how can one change one's mindset the easy way? Give us the easy way, because for most people, they're thinking, they're listening to this and they're thinking, ooh, it means sacrifice. I've got to give up stuff.
And yes, you do. And I think that one thing I think that's kind of lost is I know for myself, and I speak for myself, and I think I speak for people that have also read the book, is that in the very beginning, like chapter 1, I talk about taking ownership of your body and really understanding that this is your body and that you need to take good care of it. And it's the only one we got, and we need to keep it healthy and strong. So I think chapter 1, I talk about taking ownership. And so I think that kind of helps get you over that, wall of making willpower so difficult,
Before we get to some of the foods that really are good for us, do you find it interesting that our generation is now having to talk about, training ourselves to eat with intention, whereas millennials are all about, I'm staying out of the sun, I'm never going to a tanning bed, and I'm going to eat this will kill me, I'm not using packaging because that could, seep into my skin. I mean, they're very aware, and they do live their lives with intention. And why didn't we?
Well, I guess, we're inundated with so much information now as well, and we never really got all that information. I know growing up, like my mother fed me in a way that she thought was, the best and healthiest possible, and so, yeah, it's just information, I think.
So what I want to know about is you talked about foods that really benefit us, and there are some go-to food groupings that contribute to the health and optimal functioning of different areas in our body. So let's talk about a few of those. What are your favorite food groupings? Like if we were looking for bones, skin, or hair, what would be good?
Well, there's a lot of foods that end up being in a lot of different groups. So like walnuts are really great. Almonds are really great. Eggs are also really good. Eating raw vegetables as well is also good for lots of things. It's also natural cleansers when you're eating raw foods. And a lot of people don't like raw foods or too much salads in the winter. I used to hate eating salads in the winter, but I do now, where I actually have it on a warm bed of brown rice, so my salad isn't cold. And then I'll include chicken in it. So I always include a protein. I always include snacks. So I'm not starving myself. But again, I'm just eating foods that I know are going to really benefit.
I've just lost 20 pounds. I've still got a bit more to go.
Yeah, you look great, actually. I noticed.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But it was having the mindset. It's like, I am making a commitment to my health.
Yeah.
This is not... I don't have to deprive myself forever of these things. I can have treat meals. I can look forward to stuff. But I'm actually, a lot of the people that have been eating sort of similar to I am saying, it's like, it's easy. Once you get used to it.
It's doable. And,
Yeah.
and it gets you back to she's talking about cheat meals where really you should only be eating those things very occasionally. But
Yeah.
it's just
Anyway,
like plate sizes when you don't weigh food and you don't. And you said you eat with your eyes, I mean, when you don't weigh the food and you don't take stock of it, it's easy to sort of say, well, I only have one glass of wine a week. But if you actually wrote it down, you actually have 8. And you actually have 10
Right.
desserts a week, not
Right.
one. So that way, it's the way it should be.
I think, too, when you get to a certain point and you really understand the hard work it took also to get to this place of being happy and healthy with who you are internally and what your weight is. I know for myself, I don't want to go back to the way I was eating before. There's no, that would be silly.
Do you feel better?
I feel a million times better and I feel a million times younger. And the only physical exercise I do is I walk. And I kind of power walk. I walk pretty well every morning. And just in my neighborhood, so I don't have to go to a gym. I don't have to go to yoga classes. I don't have to, it's not a big struggle to work out if you're not someone who likes to work out or go to a gym. So for me, I just wake up in the morning, put my yoga pants on and a good pair of shoes, and I walk
out the door. So let's talk a little bit about the idea of turning resolutions into intentional and sustainable living.
Well, I think a lot of times people have put very high expectations on themselves, and they want to lose the weight that they've gained, but they want to do it really fast, and that's not healthy. That's not good. So, and I think that people, again, they create these high expectations, and then they get disappointed, and then they're done, and they don't keep their resolutions. And I think it's more about changing your mindset, changing your habits. Losing weight at a healthy pace, not at a quick pace, because you lose
That'll
it fast.
just come back.
Yeah, totally. So it's not about, and even my eating plan, it's an eating plan. It's actually not a diet. It's a completely new way of eating and looking at food.
So tell people where they can get Izzy's Eating Plan.
You can get Izzy's Eating Plan online at Amazon.com, Indigo.com, as well as Barnes & Noble, a bunch of online retailers. There's 3 selected bookstores. Book City carries them as well in the city. You can get them either as an ebook or as a paperback.
And their website?
IzzysEatingPlan.com. You can get the book there.
And are we still doing clothes? Fashion?
Yeah, I still do that.
Well, good, because your designs are awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And that's on your other website, which is
IzzyCamilleri.com.
Oh my goodness, she designs.
She's busy. Yeah, she designs.
She designs. She's writing books. She's walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you so much for joining us at our new
Yeah.
home.
Well, thank you for having me. It's nice seeing you.
This is what she said, and we'll be back right after the break.
What she said.